Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
If you're a compliance officer, middle managers are crucial in getting your programs from you to your frontline employees. But how do we activate those managers and get them on our side? Ethico's new Middle Manager Toolkit equips you with the skills needed to empower your managers, to promote a culture where ethical behavior thrives and employees feel empowered to speak up. Learn how to turn frontline managers into ethical leaders with our new white paper, Empowering Middle Managers as Ethics Champions. And did I mention you can get the whole toolkit for free? Head to ethico.com to download the full toolkit today.
If you're wondering about what you can do if you find yourself in an FCPA compliance action, check out the FCPA Survival Guide. It's my latest book. It's sponsored by Ethico, and in it, I take up and write the top 10 things you can do to reduce your overall fine and penalty if you find yourself in an FCPA enforcement action. So check out the FCPA Survival Guide. Daily Compliance News for January 28, 2025, the TikTok Test Edition. And our lead story comes to us from the Financial Times and the editorial board, which asks or says that TikTok is a test for Trump's corporate America. And they opine that the app's fate should be determined by the rule of law, not the machinations of the President of the United States. As international investors have long flocked to the United States as a country of laws, strong property rights, and robust institutions. Trump, however, is hurting that, and the TikTok could be the tunnel of the living dead, as at least opined by the FT. So, how will corporate America respond? Next up, from Tech Radar, a first-time contributor to the Daily Compliance News, says that AI's role in revolutionizing compliance training is here. It will bring smarter compliance training into the era of the tick box compliance, and that it can be used as a way to develop adaptability and give better feedback to users. Next up from Bloomberg, Aaron Brown opines that the SEC-FC CFTC merger sounds like a win for Doge, but he does not have the confidence that it will, because the agencies have multiple goals, which would necessitate complex organizations, and putting them all in one might not even help businesses. And finally, from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, Connor Hart reporting that TD Bank has named a new head of financial crimes risk management, Jackie Sanjuaz, as is succeeding Herb Mazzagueros, who's leaving the bank. And given the turmoil of TD Bank, both at the U.S. level and at the parent level, it's probably not too soon to have such a new person in place. TD Bank obviously needs a reset, both at the senior executive level around risk management and compliance, as well as the U.S. subsidiary bank. So good luck going forward. At the start of this podcast, the sponsor for the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico. Well, Ethico has a great new offering this month for you, a toolkit for middle managers. This is something that you, as the compliance professional, can use to move your compliance program forward by giving middle managers the skills necessary to answer a call for speak up, or when someone comes in their office and raises a concern. I can't think of a tool that will be more valuable for you in the current era of enforcement. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.